Okay, so this is going to be that option 4, the one that early bird was successful in getting to Monument 47. So I'm going to call it Monument 47. Monument 47 is going to be on the west side, northwest side of Mount Baker. Mount Baker is right there, center screen. And then Monument 47 is there, the top of the magenta line. And then the blue line going south, that's to the west of it, is a proposed route to Maple Falls. There was a hiker that wanted to find a um, footpath to Maple Falls before calling it a non continuous footpath to Canada. Anyway, this is for a continuous footpath to Canada. I just wanted to reiterate that Early Bird was successful getting to Monument 47, but she hitched this area right in this area where there's a highway, and she hitched from Silver Flat Welcome Pass Trailhead to Excelsior Pass Trailhead. From what I understand, I'm not 100% sure of that. I haven't had a chance to talk to her. I'm letting her bask in the afterglow of everything that she has accomplished this year. A big old congratulations to Early Bird. And here is where you come in. So some of the hikers that I'm helping out are on a continuous footpath, no hitching. And so you have several options. Here is Stehekin, that's Lake Chelan right there. And then there's a roadway from Lake Chelan to the PCT. And there's a Tumwater campground right there at and I want you to pay attention to these landmarks that I'm holding. So you could go up the PCT all the way to Harts Pass, and you could actually go to Methow Pass, and before you have to turn around and go back to either not Harts Pass, sorry, either to Rainy Pass where you were at with Highway 20, and some PCT hikers came off at Cutthroat Pass. And so from Highway 20, you'll go to Cutthroat Pass and access Highway 20 again this way. So there's Cutthroat Pass, and you make I can't exactly say a beeline east to Cutthroat Trailhead, and then get back on Highway 20 towards Mazama. Mazama is to the right, where the other option was, and the magenta there is the Billy Goat option, or I believe I called it I I can't remember. Oh, the Break Rock option. Sorry. Let's go to from Stehekin, right? You'll enter. You'll get back on the PCT at Tumwater Camp, and you'll keep going north until you get to. I thought this was a campground. Sorry, I'm used to using Onyx backcountry, so this is using this form of Gaia is strange to me. However, I did make landmarks at Park Creek Camp. So from Stehekin, you'd head over to Park Creek Camp, and then you would keep going to Cottonwood Camp, uh, Basin Creek Camp, Pelton Basin Camp, Cascade Pass, and then from Cascade Pass go up these. And I can save these as a GPX file as well, so I can send this out depending on, I don't know how to do that on social media, but I can certainly send it out on an individual basis. Again, I don't know the trail conditions of this, so this is not what PCT, what Early Bird did, and certainly not what the PCT currently recommends, which from what I understand, they don't recommend anything at the moment. They just closed up there. From my experience, the PCT waits for people like you and me to figure out a way, and then when they see that people have been successful, then they go ahead and approve it as a approved route. So you and I are the instigators, I believe. So here's concrete. This is where from Rainy Pass, Early Bird hitched to, and then she did a series of road walking and trails. This is mostly road walking, and you could look on your own to see if there's trails that you can avoid road walking in. But it's pretty straightforward, and it is against a mountain side. Let me see if I can... it is against a mountainside, so there's not a lot of choices as far as skirting around. I believe this is all mostly road walking until you get to Swift Creek Campground, so Swift Creek Trailhead. So I just wanted to mark that out because those are the landmarks that Early Bird did. I'll share them again with you on OnX where I made waypoints. But here's the Lake Ann trailhead that Early Bird also mentions. And then this is the highway that she's on. But I want you to pay attention to, this is Mount Baker ski area. So as you can see, there's all sorts of runs there. So from my understanding is that there should be trails. For instance, this trail here will go down and then up again. So you could technically, instead of being on Highway 542, you could be on the Salmon Pattern Trail to the side. So I want you guys to look. This is your hike. I need you guys to be active players in this reroute. And this is how I help other like FKTers and other hikers who have a different agenda than the traditional Nobo hiker. This is how I help them out by helping them help themselves, kind of thing. So there is a way to avoid the highway. You just have to find those side routes if you're one of those that are on a continuous footpath that do not want to road walk on a highway, which I highly suggest. I hate road walking on highways. So here's Excelsior Pass. So again, Early Bird hitched from this area, Welcome Pass Trailhead area. She hitched west to Excelsior Pass, and then she took the magenta line up Excelsior Pass to the PCT Monument 47, and then she started heading down the light blue path and met up with a trail angel who drove her down the rest of the way on, I believe, this road here that is OHV at the bottom that hooks up to 542. So anyway, that is one way to exit. And then another hiker, his wife wants a footpath to Maple Falls. So that is the proposed footpath to Maple Falls that I have made. But again, I have not done any of that. Again, I can send any of those as a GPS files. If anyone has more intel after they've done this, please get back to me so I can spread the news that it was successful. And again, thank you, Early Bird, because this was very successful monument terminus that she found. So I found this purple one, which avoided that hitch on Highway 42. And that's it starts with the High Divide Trail, but it's also the Canyon Ridge Trail, and it follows the Canyon Ridge. So those of you that are visual, it doesn't have as many switchbacks as Excelsior. So that should tell you something about the steepness of Excelsior Pass to Excelsior Peak, right? And so here that comes. You could also go down this, but again, that looks a lot steeper as an elevation than here, right? So that's from concrete. So all of this purple line is what has been done by Early Bird. Woohoo! I'm so excited for her. All right, so that's from concrete. Now, she hitched from Rainy Pass to concrete, and that's the reason why I'm giving you these two lower route options. One is from Stehekin, that's this one. I'm going to go back to that Swamp Creek fire. So here's that Swamp Creek fire. I just want you to know that that's the reason why I added a southern one, just in case that Swamp Creek fire blew up. But I don't think it will, or at least it doesn't seem like it's being an issue. So just know that that is the northern route from Stehekin. And then before Stehekin, here at I want to say Cascade Wilderness, but I can't form my words. Anyway, from here, you can also access west to this campground, Sulphur Creek Campground, and then go west towards Concrete again. So that is Buck Creek Campground. Again, I can send GPS files for you guys. And then at this junction, you'll make a north from Swaddle River Road. You'll go north on 542 to hook back up to Concrete. Now, I chose this because you guys are all a continuous footpath and you guys don't want to do Highway 20. For those of you that are fine with hitching, all the way up to Rainy Pass and hitch west to Concrete. Stop east first and go to say hi to Lion and Mazama for me before you head west. This is an alternate only if the AQI is bad on this side. So I would still suggest doing this if the AQI is good, but generally speaking, AQI is not going to be great. Obviously, this side, since it's on the west side and there's no fires west of it, of that route, is going to be crystal clear, as evidenced by early birds' photos of clear blue skies. This little giant fire is also blowing west to east, and so therefore has not been an issue for us. However, the townspeople here are all being affected by it. So anyway, those are your routes. Let me go over that Swamp Creek fire thing here, which was kind of weird. And the reason why it's weird is because there is Ross Lake, there is Lake Chelan and Stehekin, and then somewhere here should be the swamp fire, and I got nothing. So this is on watch duty. I got no swamp fire. On Gaia, I do have Swamp Creek fire. It says it's only a couple of acres, 3.8 acres, and then I'll open up. That's this area, and then I'll open up my Onyx backcountry. There's the Swamp Creek area on backcountry instead of. I was on Gaia earlier, and then this says this pretty much the same thing, that there is a swamp fire last updated August 2nd, and it was originally started July 10th, so that's kind of weird to me. I have seen it for several days. I've been watching it. It has not grown, so I'm not really 100% sure, especially since it's not on watch duty. Right? And let's just go through the landmarks again. This is Stehekin going north. There's Tumwater. There is Shady Campground. There's Bridge Creek Campground. You'll go west to Flat Creek Campground. There's that swamp fire that I want you to keep an eye on. It's not on watch duty. Cottonwood Group Campground. Basin Creek Campground. And that looks definitely steep there. But there's a couple of waterfalls. And then you'll continue to head west. And you'll go from, the two different divides there of the agencies. And then Mineral Park Campground, right? And then you'll be skirting around that mountain. So just keep your navigations on. Make sure you're still on the same trail, because it will be easy to lose trail. And that'll get you to here. And I just wanted to show you where concrete is. Concrete's the red area there. And then here is the brown line that avoids Highway 20. Obviously, if you can hitch, you're more than welcome to hitch. This does head south here so that you can cross the river. And then heads north again for those of you who are on a continuous footpath. And then from concrete, this is where you'll follow Early Bird's line going up. That's a Boulder Creek campground. That's Early Bird mentioned that. Swift Creek Trailhead, she mentioned that. Early Bird mentioned that. There's the Lake Ann Trailhead. Early Bird mentioned that. And then this is the highway. The green dotted line is the highway that I said you could go to the left of and avoid a lot of that highway if you are on a continuous footpath. And then you can, let's see, I don't know why that ended up there. I did not mean to. Oh, the Hannigan Trailhead, you can access that from Rainy Pass if you wanted a continuous footpath from Rainy Pass. But it looked like, sorry, never mind. Negate all of the Hannigan access part. That was a Plan C option that does not seem to be viable unless someone wants to try to look for it. You can contact me if you want to try to look for that campground, but this route is much more optimal. So you'll follow the blue dot. There's Welcome Pass. Right now you're up at elevation at the ridge, and now you're meeting up with Excelsior Pass, this is where Early Bird went from Excelsior Pass Trailhead to Excelsior Peak. So now you'll be back on a tracked and successful hike all the way to the border. So that purple dot. And then that's Monument 47. I'll post photos that that Early Bird sent. And then that's the way back down via the highway, the light blue dot. She got a ride because I believe a lot of this is all a OHV. And then from here, those of you that want a continuous footpath to Maple Falls can get there, and then from there you can hitch west to Seattle and Bellevue and other communities, Bellingham and other communities. So there you go. That is the option 4. That is the Monument 47 option. I originally called that the DD option. And then I wanted to congratulate both Gremlin and Dainty Dane and Ephraim and John S. and Aurelian. And I don't know, there's definitely over 30 hikers that have successfully gotten to the northern terminus, or the current northern terminus, I should say. So congratulations to everyone. Hopefully I'll get to interview them. I am going to let them bask in their afterglow for a little bit before bothering them. All right, cheers. Thank you. See ya. Remember, check your own weather conditions. And it is Sunday, August 2nd, 8:04 in the morning. When things change, I will do my best to update. Okay, cheers. See ya.